Well, writers are often told, write about what you know. A Fighting Heart is the story of Johnny Kilbane, the longest reigning featherweight boxing champion in history. His relative, Des Kilbane, makes his writing and directorial debut with a film about his own relative. Welcome, Des.
Thank you, Sally, for the show.
Now, Johnny actually was born and grew up in Cleveland, but you were born and raised in Ireland, and
That's
you
right.
live there still.
That's right, yes.
We can tell from your very strong Irish brogue.
Yes, I live in Galway on the west coast of Ireland. I'm originally from Achill Island, which is off the west coast of Ireland, and that's where Johnny's parents came from.
Okay.
And they immigrated in the late 1800s to Cleveland, Ohio.
So how did you connect with Johnny? How did you first learn his story about being the featherweight champion and his long history?
My dad used to talk about this cousin of ours in the States who was a champion of the world in 1912, and but I was more interested in Ali, Foreman and Fraser when I was a kid, heavyweights. So I didn't pay too much attention to this cousin, this famous cousin. But in the 1980s, I found a book called The Book of Lists, which is a compilation of, like, for example, a writer would name his 10 favourite writers, or a musician would name their favourite albums. And at the time, Mike Tyson was the world champion, and he placed Johnny in the top 10, number 5 of his all-time favourite fighters.
Wow, how interesting. And so that's how you really became interested in this relative.
That's when I thought, that's the guy my dad was talking about.
How
so
interesting.
The story began.
And so where did the process begin? How did you find all of this footage, all the archives, all the information?
Well, I was online one day, about maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and I came across the website, johnnykilbane.com, which was set up by Johnny's great-grandson, Kevin O'Toole, who lives in Cleveland, and he discovered a trunk in his grandmother's attic when she died in the 90s. Johnny's only surviving child, Mary, Kevin's grandmother, had this fantastic memorabilia kept in the attic, including all his, his boxing gloves, and there was a canister of film, which was like from 1912. And it said Kilbane versus Attell, and in that film, in that canister was like nitrate film, very volatile, very dangerous. You couldn't just open the canister. 100 years old almost, you know. So it just happened that Kevin got in touch with Mike Tyson's ex-manager, Steve Lott, and Frank Stallone. And Frank, being Sylvester's brother, is a big boxing fan. So between the three guys, they found one person in America who could convert the film.
And that film is in your film?
Yes, it's a world premiere, really. It's never been seen before.
Wow.
Yeah. That
chest was a pot of gold to you.
A pot of gold.
Oh, my gosh. And so how did you develop it all? Like I said, this is your writing, you co-wrote it, your directorial debut, you did the soundtrack, you found that music.
Yeah.
Tell us about that process.
Well, it's such an amazing story. I mean, it's got such a great heart, you know, and it's personal. So I just knew I had to make it. So I came on board with Midas Productions in Dublin, and to myself and Midas, we got TG4, and the Irish broadcaster, on board. So therefore, we had, then we had broadcasting. We had some funding to go and make the film.
Nice. That's awesome. And so Johnny was a hometown hero in Cleveland. What did Cleveland do to honor him?
Well, when Johnny won the title in 1912, he came back to Cleveland on St. Patrick's Day,
of course,
with the crown, and the biggest crowd ever came in Cleveland. 200,000 people came out to greet him.
Wow.
And in honour of his performance and in honour of him being Cleveland's first boxing champion and sporting hero, they named a part of Cleveland where Johnny lived Kilbane Town.
Wow. And
it's Kilbane Town to this day.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Now you wanted to tell us about a little sidebar about the Irish people playing a role in building the Erie Canal.
Yes. Where I come from, Achill Island, every family in Achill Island has relations in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh.
You know, my aunt and my uncle lived there all their lives, and I have loads of cousins who were great help to me in the making of the film. And so in the 1820s, some people from Achill Island went off to work on the Erie Canal. And as a result, they brought their brothers or their cousins with them. And so they played a huge role in building the Erie Canal, which is an amazing story in itself. You know, one of the great American architectural wonders, really.
And quickly, before we let you go, your documentary has already won an award.
It has. Last week, it won the Bronze Torque at the Celtic Media Festival in Cornwall, England. And so
Awesome.
we're thrilled with that.
Congratulations. We're so excited to tell people you're part of the Arizona International Film Festival.
Which runs until the 27th of April downtown in the screening room.
Yes, yes, that's the information that we have. Des, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And
Really,
welcome to our weather.
it's lovely.
It's not as rainy as Ireland, right?
No, but
and not as
great.
green.
No, but it's great all the same.
All right, thank you so much, and
Thanks.
congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And Des Kilbane's film, A Fighting Heart, will be showing on Monday, April 21st at 6 p.m. at the Screening Room on Congress. For more information, call 882-0204 or go online to filmfestivalarizona.com. Now let's get some travel tips and advice from a pro. Amanda?
Well, Tucson is known